Hello guys, hope you're well and welcome back to Sparrows Play Games. Happy Halloween everyone! Today we are going to figure out, can we beat Pokémon Emerald with only a Gastly? The rules are simple enough. We can only use a Gastly to fight. We can capture other Pokémon as HM slaves obviously, or else we can't get through with a run. No items in battle, but held items are absolutely fine. Last but not least, we can't use glitches or exploits. Let's dive in, shall we? I used the Pokemon randomizer to switch out Trico with Gastly, so we can do the run with it. Our rival never fully evolves her starter, so I don't think any of them will be an issue for us, to be fair. Now, I don't normally cover the first fight of the game because it's usually a squash. It's a level 2 Zigzagoon after all. But Gastly at level 5 only knows Lick, which does not affect Zigzagoon. So with James, I hear you cry, what are you going to do? Well, at level 2, Zigzagoon can only use Tackle, and that's a normal move. Normal moves don't affect ghosts, so we have to lose all our power points on both Hypnosis and Lick, which then will give us access to the move Struggle. This takes a little while, but once we can attack it's pretty simple. Let's make our new Pokemon official by going back to the lab and calling her Eily7 after my sister Emma. She supports me in everything that I do, so this was a no-brainer. We agreed to find May, our rival, and check out the early game stats. We are a lonely nature, so it's more attack focused at the expense of our defense. I'm not sure how I feel about this, but I always go with the first one I get my hands on. We have Levitate, so at least we are immune to Earthquake and the like, which is also quite nice. I decided to use all of our power points again to get Struggle on wild Pokemon in preparation for our rival. Once we get there, it's pretty straightforward. Torchic only knows Scratch, as its attacking move, which is normal, so it spams Growl until we get the knockdown with Struggle. We end up going against a bug catcher on the way to Petalburg and end up leveling to 8, learning Spite mid-fight. Normally this would be fine, but we're using Struggle and Spite doesn't deal any damage. So for the third time we run out of power points and we get to do it mid-trainer fight. How bizarre. What a weird problem to have. We get the victory eventually, but thanks for spiting me. What's with bug catchers and stolen trainers anyway? Once in Petalburg we head straight for the gym to meet our dad. He thinks we are embarking on a noble quest to become champion, but we have a lot to do in the process. Our first mission is to meet Wally and escort him to a lump of grass so he can capture his first ever Pokemon. Shame you didn't have a Pokemon professor as a neighbour, he would have give you one, huh? Our dad and Wally thanks us for our efforts and we head on our way. Once we try to leave town, after this interlude, we run into Great Scat! Arrogant as normal, calling us a rookie and storming off. We will show you, my friend. Once in Petalburg Woods, we come across a dumb representative of Shinra. I mean Devon. Devon, oh, I always get them mixed up. Anyways, he has come out with no Pokemon by his side, a briefcase full of sensitive goods and documents. I feel an ambush coming on, huh? What did I tell you? This is our first look at the magnificent Team Aqua, ruler of everything blue and liquidy. Is that a word? It is now. He comes at us, giggity, and I forgot about that. With that silly laugh out the way, we struggle our way through and survive with recoil damage, and save the Shinra researcher and move on. Once we reach Rustboro City, I head for the gym and see how off pace we are. I don't think we will defeat the first trainer if I'm honest with you. To my surprise, we actually do, along with everyone else in the gym. This gives us a major confidence boost. Here's our stats at level 15, so let's try our hand against Roxanne. Wow, this isn't even close to doable yet. The first Geodude barely hangs on due to bad move selection. Once she uses Rock Tombs, this is good as over. This is not even close yet. So it's time to grind then. We head northeast to Route 116 to go after all the trainers we have access to. We learn Curse, which in a solo Pokemon run is useless, so we have to use wild Pokemon once again to get Struggle back, which uses all of our potions in the process. We head back to the Pokemart and get as many potions as we can and run back, continuing to take out trainers for their lunch money. We only get to level 17, I still don't fancy my chances. We try Roxanne again only to get beaten to oblivion with Struggle's recoil damage. This is the price we have to pay for taking everyone's lunch money, I guess. We try again with full power points on our moves just to see how horrible this is. Curse, as suspected, takes way too much damage to use effectively. We can't even heal either, so it doesn't take long for us to faint. We grind some more levels and get to level 19 and try this again. but it's the same as before, an absolute disaster. We can't do it with the limited moves we have access to. We need an attacking move which is reliable, doesn't use our own health in the process, and is strong enough to carry us through the early game. There is such a move coming up, which takes all of these boxes. We just have to get there. We scrape all the money we can get, and all the potions that we can get, and manage to get to how many times do I have to say get? Just to manage to get to that magic number, which is 21. We now have Nightshade. The power of this move is tied to your current level. Time to go in for our redemption story. Geodude is out first, and our strategy is simple enough. Put our foes to sleep and chip their health down until they faint. We keep missing, but once it lands, our Nightshades make short work of her. Her second Geodude falls asleep straight away in comparison, so she falls in her sleep eventually, leaving her ace Nosepass to pick up the pieces. Nosepass is outspeeding us here, which is a bit of a worry, but only uses Harden to start with. This gives us a lifeline, especially when our Hypnosis lands on the first try. Lucky start. So we spam Nightshades and she keeps on sleeping, and we get the final blow with only 8 health remaining, defeating Roxanne and winning a stone badge. We take a few steps outside to really take in what we have accomplished, and out of nowhere Team Aqua run off, as a Shinra researcher runs after him, stating the goods are now gone. This chase is now on, as we cannot waste any time and make haste. This is going to be a lesson to all of you out there that crime really doesn't pay, if you're stupid. He didn't have an escape route planned out. Looks like he's got himself into a dead end. This is why you don't do crime. Once our epic battle commences, I forget everything on how to play Pokemon and use all the wrong moves. I eventually get my act together and win, getting back the goods and saving this little Wingull. We hurry back, handing the goods over and meeting the president of Shinra. Damn it! I mean Devon. Jeez, why can't I get this right? Anyways, Rufus gives us a Pokeknife, a letter for Stephen Stone and the goods back. We will need this later on. We even get into another battle with May again. Her Pokemon don't cause us any threat yet, so it's really an easy defeat for her. Before continuing our quest, we capture the HM slave called Goonzigger with a silent Z. We set sail for Dufad. As we sail, why don't you hit that like button? If you haven't clicked off this video yet, you must like it, right? Right? We dock at Dufad and head straight for Broly. He starts with a Machop, which we put to sleep straight away and use Nightshades to eventually take him out. He only uses bulk ups and potions to heal, so we take no damage. Meditite is now out, so we just go for Nightshades as he sets up a light screen, so again we take no damage. His ace Makihita is now out, so again we go for Nightshade, but he only uses bulk ups. What's with this weird fight? Wait a second. Ah, that's right, Makihita only knows fighting moves at this level, so he can't actually attack us. Now well, armed with that, we eventually take him out. Pretty easy gym fight for once. We get the Knuckle Badge as our reward and give the letter to Stephen Stone soon after. Once all this is done, we set sail once again for Slateport City. Once we dock, we are on the hunt for Captain Stern. As we are looking around, why don't you enjoy this random quote from my wife that I won't hear until the video goes live. This could be anything.
Leroy Jenkins!
Okay, moving on. Once we find him in the museum, Team Aqua ambushes us. I really don't understand this because we can randomly just walk straight past them in the lobby. It makes no sense, but of course they aren't scary, so we dispatch them soon enough. I'm going to take a shot in the dark at what my wife is going to say. Doo-wop, skibbity-beep-ba, doo-wop. Yeah, I'm pretty confident about that. This is such a weird bit. But hey, if you like them, why don't you tell me in the comment section below and we'll keep doing them, because I think it's quite fun. Once we hand over the goods, we can go outside when, great Scott, it's Scott! He now understands that we could be a contender for the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. Pokemon Trainer. It's a stretch. Even Professor Birch is laughing at us, not with us, so we will show them. Now it's time for our rival fight just under Cycling Road. Let's go! Ah, damn it, Ricky. I can't go bowling with you right now.
Nico, it's Roman. Let's go bowling.
Anyways, let's go! May starts off with a Wingull, so 2 Nightshades take her down. Supersonic misses so we don't get confused, which is nice. Lombre is next, but she only uses nature power, which turns into a Swift, which doesn't affect us of course. So it goes down to a couple of Nightshades soon after. Her ace Combuskin is now out. I've struggled with playthroughs here with a full team in the past, when I was a bit younger and a bit more stupider. We end up doing more damage than I thought, and we take an Ember for our troubles. We end up winning in the end, but that was pretty predictable. We are 7 levels higher with a fairly strong attack after all. We reach Morville and take on Wally outside the gym. This one is no contest. At level 16, Ralts is pretty useless. We win with no issue and try and take on Watson. Watson on the other hand is an absolute power plant. We end up losing more times than I can even count, and I can count to 5, honest. Manectric and Magneton are units. Sometimes we can't even get past the first Voltrobe. Even we, Wally, are not ready for this one. As we grind, I researched what TMs I could actually get this early into the game and came up with absolutely nothing. But then, as all hope is lost, the whole run was on a tightrope, ready to tumble. I found the answer right in front of my face. Why don't we get to level 33 and learn Dream Eater? We hop back into the gym and we go to war with Watson. This still takes another 30 minutes, but we eventually get the luck we need to get through it. Hypnosis misses a lot. This is going to be quite a common theme as we go through the run. We get confused and paralysed a lot also, so we don't have much defence against those either. We fail so many times at this, but I'm so glad we eventually take this whole team down and get the Dynamo badge as our reward. I'm on fire! Damn it, Nummel! Can't you see I'm burning here? I then decide randomly to go all the way back to the start of the game and pick up a pack of Zigzagoons. I should have done this sooner in the game when I was there. Anyways, I give them a bunch of nicknames that made me giggle. Pick me, Toothpick, Pickaxe, and my personal favourite, Moby Pick. If you're unsure about this, Zigzagoons have the pickup ability, which I thought would be necessary. Spoilers, it didn't really make much of a difference. I put 2 of them into the daycare to see if I can get them to a high enough level to find leftovers. Guess what? We never got it. What a dumb side quest. At least the nicknames were cool, right? 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 We get to Route 113, and of course, if you've seen any of my Emerald runs, I always take a few minutes to listen to my favourite Pokemon music of all time. This always takes me back to the first time I played it all them years ago when it was first released, on my little Game Boy Advance. With one of them, you know, light thingy attachments on it. That's the technical term, I'm going to go with that. I really want to do this as my day job one day and have big plans for future videos. If I get to a point where I can bring some of my friends and family into it and make it into a small little business with our own studio space with more channels, that would be the absolute best. But bringing it back down to earth for a second, I want to make more videos. But time is not one's friend, so if you want to help us and you like what we do, please hit that subscribe button and share this around on various platforms / friends and all of that. I mean, you've reached this far into the video, right? So you must like it. Thanks for indulging me, and I'll now get back to the video. We soon come across Skarmory, which I call 619 because he's a high flyer. We soon get to Meteor Falls and we bump into Team Aqua and Magma having a little disagreement, and they make haste to Mount Chimney. What are these guys up to? Once we reach the summit after our lovely little cable car ride, we find the team leader Maxie messing around with a machine, astern telling off for messing around in their affairs. That shouldn't involve a small kid. I say sod it, let's fight, and with that we are in a head-to-head Poke combat. Mightyana is out first and his bite takes over half of our health away. Luckily we get the knockdown next turn, so Zubat is now out. I decide to get some health back with a bit of Hypnosis and Dream Eater. This is great when it works. His ace Camerupt is last and tries Magnitude, so I laughed a whole 8 times at him. You gotta love Levitate. Once Hypnosis hits, our Dream Eater's hit for massive damage and heals us luckily. The next one takes him out, winning, and we watch as Maxie runs away and Archie just walks on. Now, I don't like it when things are taken from their rightful owners, so let's give the meteorite back. Cosmo gives us something in returns for our efforts. I wonder what it's going to be. It's of course a Pokemon gag. Why did the Wheelmer cross the road? to get to the other tide. Huh? Huh? We run away as quickly as possible, leaving town for how bad that joke was. And we reach Laveridge Town. But wait, we are coming in far too quickly. We can't stop. We crash into the gym soon after and bounce off it somehow and get given an egg. We lose to a Calgion and get over our concussion just in time to take on Fannery. None of her team are that scary to us, so we take them all out relatively easily. We even get to the end of the battle with full health. That usually doesn't happen in my playthroughs. Anyways, we get the heat badge as our reward and swiftly move outside. We bump into a rival here and get given a fetching pair of eyewear. The Go-Go Gadget goggles. My jokes are getting worse, aren't they? Why did the Whalmer cross the... We try to leave and bump into a hiker. I'm worried about him. All he does is pace around. So we ask what is wrong. And he's scared to take the leap down the ledges as he couldn't get back home easily. I'm just going to hop over here now, slowly. Wait, what? He was right. Why did I hop down here? I want to get back up. Please help me. You were right. I am sorry. What do I do? Stop ignoring me! We hop down to use Rock Smash on these stupid rocks, only to realise we've left all our HM slaves back in Laveridge Town. So, let's just quickly reset the game, head back to the Pokemon Centre, gain our Zigzagoons back, hop back down the ledges, help me hiker! Roll all the way back down to the stupid rock, smash it to pieces and pretend we did that first try. Phew, that was an easy first time. We hop, then slide straight into Petalburg City and go straight for the gym. I generally thought beating up my dad's Pokemon would be an easy task. This is a normal gym, going up against a ghost after all. But once we get to Vigoroth, none of our offensive plays affects him. Ghost moves don't work, so Nightshade is now useless. And he has the ability Vital Spirit, so he doesn't go to sleep, so I can't use Dream Eater to get us out of this jam either. So, we lose. Let's queue using all of our power points again on wild Pokemon like we haven't done that before in this challenge. This takes a little while, but we gain access to Struggle once more and try this again. Well, that worked. We take Spinda out, which is his first Pokemon by the way, but we take ourselves out as well. We need a new strategy. I took some time out, made a cup of tea and looked over the TMs again to see what we could use against Vigoroth. Then, it hits me. We can learn Thunderbolt, but James, I hear you cry. Watson and New Morville is not available yet, so how can you get it? Well, we can actually win it in the game corner here. So we head to Slayport, get the harbour mail, trade it for a coin case, and of course, let the pain begin. So, 500 coins is 10,000 in here, so I either need 80,000 of my own money or I have to gamble for absolutely ages. I sold everything off that I didn't need and got to work. This gained me 59,137, so it's a decent start. Let's battle everyone we can and see what we have to get left over. Oh wait, our egg is hatching. Can you guess what it's going to be? I'm so excited. It's a why not. Wait, we're expecting another joke here. Why did the Whalmer? Eventually, we get the 80,000 needed to get Thunderbolt, so we hop back into the game corner and exchange all of our money to get Thunderbolt. Early. Yay! It's 9 in the morning, so I need breakfast before I continue. So, one moment please. Once we are back, I teach Thunderbolt at Gastly and go in for the final showdown with my dad. Spinda goes down to a few Thunderbolts after confusing us with Tita Dance, and healing of course. Vigoroth goes down to Thunderbolt. His ace slacking is a little bit more tricky. Thunderbolt doesn't do a lot, so he gets a feint attack in, which nearly takes us out. We are still confused, so we really need to hit this Hypnosis. To my relief, this works, so we can get a few Dream Eaters in and getting some health back, and taking slacking down in the process. With his ace now eventually down, only Lidoon is in the way of our next gym badge. Predictably, this is a mismatch, and we take him down with Thunderbolts after he uses a Hyper Potion to heal up naturally. With that now out of the way, we get the Balance Badge as our reward. You know how earlier in this video I said I've got future plans for this channel? This just rocked up. So you can imagine that a lot more of this content is going to come. I even went out and bought, bang, a load of random Pokemon games so we can actually do Switch stuff now, which I'm really excited for. I've dabbled in it in the past, but I want to do a lot more of it. So yeah, I hope you enjoy some of that. So let's get back to the video, shall we? We accidentally crash into Watson now. Where were you earlier? I really needed your Thunderbolt. Yes, I know, we don't have access to Surf, so that's no excuse. Hi, Stephen! We eventually arrive at the Weather Institute and clear all the grunts and take out Admin Shelly with no issue whatsoever. What did you think was going to happen? We are a serious Pokemon trainer right now. We then sweep our rival with Thunderbolt. Hi, Stephen! Get into the best fight you ever seen with a Kelkion. I have a strategy for this, everyone, so buckle up. Bye, Stephen! Enter the Fortree City Gym and go against Winona. Swablu goes down to Thunderbolt. Tropius only uses Sunny Day, so yeah, Thunderbolts. Pelipper, Thunderbolt. Skarmory, Thunderbolt. Altaria now puts up a bit more of a fight. Our Thunderbolts would have been a 2-shot, but of course they use an Oranberry. We can't take it out in 2 turns. Also, with her being in the red, she heals with Hyper Potion. We then get hit with a very scary Aerial Ace, so we have to go for Hypnosis and Dream Eater respectively to survive. This actually crits as well. We then get a finishing Thunderbolt, taking Winona's team out, winning the Feather Badge. An overall easy first try, if not a bit scary near the end. We now try and surf down to Mount Pyra, when... Damn it, Tentacool! Once we run away, we gain access. We have to reach the summit as per. We seem to do that a lot in Pokemon games, right? On the way there, we clear out Team Aqua, and now I want to talk about the infamous 7th gym fight. This is hard even with a full team at times, but that is not optimised for it. But we only have a Gastly. Levitates deals with the earthquakes, so that's fine, but most of Tate and Liza's team know the move Psychic. This is super effective against us, and so this is going to be the hardest fight in the whole game. I'm really not looking forward to it, to be honest. I accidentally run into a double battle at the top, forgetting that we have Zigzagoons with us. So as long as I don't use attacker moves, I think we're going to be okay with this exception. So my Zigzagoons spam Growl as we take them out with Gastly. Future me here? Why didn't I just switch them in and out, not dealing any moves whatsoever? I'm so dumb sometimes it's unreal. Once the orbs are stolen, the rest of Team Aqua flee. We go further into the mountain looking for the move Shadow Ball. On the way there, we get caught with our pants down going up against a Sableye. I run out of power points on Thunderbolts, so I have no moves that can affect it. So let's restart again. So we leave Fortree Gym and the city behind, run down a Pokemon route, get to the pier, surf back down to Mount Pyra, climb all the stairs one more time. Now I've come back for my redemption, my revenge, just you wait. By running past everyone this time and gaining Shadow Ball. Haha, that showed you. We enter Lily Cove City and head straight for our rival fight. We take out her entire team with only 51 health remaining. Seriously, evolve your Combusking already. Just do it. Evolve it now. Why are you waiting? We then hop down a silly mountain, open the magma hideout, strut in like we own the place, and we watch on as Groudon awakes. We defeat Maxie once again, and then we watch as a submarine gets stolen from right under our noses as we get interviewed for the telly. We fly to Lily Cove again, surf over to Team Aqua's base, clear it and absolutely drown Admin Matt in his own tears. Watch the submarine leave again and we get to Moz Deep City. Here we go, Gym 7. Yeah, as expected, we don't last too long. Xatu isn't too bad, but once we go against Claydol and Solrock, it's really tough. We end up fainting not long after. This is not even close yet. I decided to get some rare candy in my inventory and see what level I needed to take this out. I really don't have time to do this grind. Our attempt on level 60 is pretty good at the start, but then it falls apart to Solrock. At level 65, Psychics are a one-shot, and Shadow Ball isn't. So yeah, we don't last too long. At level 70 we'll get further into the fight sometimes. We are one-shotting now, but we still get ripped apart soon enough. A few more levels and some luck and the right selection, is key to victory. Eventually we get this run at level 75. I found out through trial and error we need to keep Xatu alive for the entire fight. Claydol is a one shot to Shadow Ball, so this is a really good start. Xatu goes for Psychic, but only hits our Y-Knot, which is spamming splashes since I need 2 Pokemon to enter this fight. That really saved us. Solrock is a one shot to Shadow Ball as well, and Xatu doesn't attack, only using Sunny Day. I feel really good about this run now. Lunatoon goes down to a Shadow Ball, leaving Xatu all alone. With a calm mind, we go for Shadow Ball once more, hitting a crit for good measure, dropping Xatu, winning this awful gym battle, getting a Mind Badge as our reward. Upon leaving the gym, we head south and bump into Team Magma again and take up the chase. They have infiltrated Pokemon's version of NASA HQ, and we fight our way up to the top floor, where Steven Stone is having a really rough time. We soon get into a double fight here and win with not much trouble, of course. What do you expect? It's Steven Stone and we have 7 badges. Of course we're a serious Pokemon trainer after all. Once we see Steven at his house, we dive in, we get Dive for helping out at NASA. We go for a dip in the bay and find a Tentacool, which I call Pikachu because that's really funny. You better laugh. Laugh in the comment section please. We dive into the seafloor caverns soon after, being confronted by a familiar submarine. We battle our way through to Kyogre and get ambushed by Archie again, but we have moves like Thunderbolt and such, so we dispatch his team relatively easily. But he doesn't care about all of that. He still awakens Kyogre and we just watch on as the chaos ensues. We then get teleported outside as Maxie and Archie are stunned at what's going on. The weather patterns are all out of whack. It's torrential rain one moment and then earth-burning sunshine the next. Unbearable scenes to go through, and it's all their fault. Who uses a blue orb on a Groudon and a red orb on a Kyogre? Absolute losers. Hi Steven. We end up taking a dive down to Sootopolis to see all the fighting firsthand, when, damn it Clamperl, where was I? Oh yeah. Once we dive into Sootopolis, we are confronted by 2 titans. One controls land, whilst the other controls the sea, in a nail-biting, head-to-head battle with one purpose and one purpose only, to destroy each other. Now as we are looking around, I'd like to talk to you all who are watching this video right now. Wasn't this one of the best scenes to ever come out of a Pokemon game in the early 2000s? The Game Boy Advance was on fire back then. I didn't think back then that I'd be making videos about it in 2025. It's astonishing how much we hold on to certain video games, isn't it? What's your blast from the past experience? I'd love to see that in the comments. Upon leaving the Cave of Origin, we are awakening Rayquaza. How about that? The ruler of the skies will save the day, I'm sure of it. We land back in Sootopolis only to realise we have actually beaten Rayquaza here with a Skarmory. We didn't even have a head start. You now see one of my favourite scenes in the whole game as Rayquaza majestically swarms down from the heavens to put a stop to all this nonsensical fighting and destruction of the world in which we live in. You blink and all 3 legendaries disappear to the caverns and mountains in which they sleep. With that, the world is now saved, and with all the pleasantries out of the way, we prepare for our final gym badge. Joanne stands in the way of our Pokemon Championship dreams as Luvdisc emerges in a cloud of smoke. One Thunderbolt is all that's necessary to take her out, so Whiscash is now next. I forgot that electric moves don't work against him, so I used Thunderbolt like an idiot, but since Whiscash doesn't use any offensive moves against us like Rain Dance, we take it out in a few Shadow Balls. Groudon is an easy shot with Thunderbolt, Kingdra hangs on with red health from a Thunderbolt and of course uses a Hyper Potion to heal, but we get a critical hit next time which takes him out. Celio is of course a one shot to Thunderbolt, so that epic battle now ends. We win the Rain Badge, and with all that we have 8 badges. Pokemon League time. We then use Waterfall to get to Evergrande City, which only has a few flower patches and a Pokemon Center. Less is obviously more here. We then enter the elephant in the room, which is the big maze called Victory Road. We absolutely wipe the floor with Wally because he sucks, and after an embarrassing amount of "damn it Lored," we get out of Victory Road and climb the stairs to our final challenge. Only 5 more trainers stand in our path to victory. I think we just need to enter already and go for it. First up is Dark Trainer Sydney, and this one is harder than I thought it was gonna be. We use a horrible choice of moves on our first attempt and we fall to Shiftry. On our second attempt we have a bit more knowledge and I soon realise we don't have a good answer for Cacturne either, so of course we eventually lose again. But it's getting there I think. Okay, the third attempt. We managed to get all the way to Absol this time, but for some reason we end up missing every hypnosis and go down without attacking. I think I might just need to keep trying. This has got to be doable. Hopefully. Maybe. 10 minutes later we end up winning, so let's recap. Sydney sends out Mighty Anna, so we open with a Thunderbolt which crits, but I don't think we needed that. I think it would have fainted anyway. Shiftry is next and we actually hit Hypnosis this time and put him to sleep. This is crucial, but it turns out not crucial at all. Our Thunderbolt crits again, taking Shiftry out in a one shot. This made me think this was the winning run, so I went for it. Our Hypnosis hits on Cacturne also, so our luck is still going strong. He stays asleep long enough for us to get 2 shots of Thunderbolt, dropping Cacturne. We are still at full health. This is insane. Pokemon can be funny sometimes. Groudon is an easy one shot and so is Absol. We even get to level 79 during this too. 1 Elite 4 member down, 3 to go plus the champion. Second is Ghost Trainer Phoebe. Let's see whose ghosts are better. I generally thought this would be the easiest Elite 4 member, but it turns out I'm an absolute idiot. None of her heavy hitters are one shots, plus they always find ways to stall you with moves like Protect. No biggie though, I think we just need to figure out our best moves to use on any given situation, and we need some patience and luck. I mean, we got the Sableye after all. A whole 16 minutes go by, you got it, 16 minutes, and we get the win, so let's recap. Dusclops is first, and it always opens with Protect, so I use Hypnosis, a throwaway move. We then hit Shadow Ball, which is actually a one shot this time, so that's nice. The 2 bayonets are really easy one shots with Shadow Ball, bada bing bada boom. The more powerful Dusclops is now out and we go for Hypnosis, and it hits this time, which is nice. Somehow we actually get a one shot with a follow up Shadow Ball, which didn't happen very often, I assure you. We are going into the Sableye fight with full health. This is amazing. 2 Shadow Balls later clinches the victory. Our ghost is better than yours, Phoebe. With that, we have 2 more Elite 4 members and the champion left to go. Third is Ice Trainer Glacier. We really need an easy fight, so let's see. Our first attempt goes really well and somehow we get all the way to the second Glalie, but I go down because I'm dumb. Once I get my act together, we have a really easy time with this one. Celio goes down to a Thunderbolt. Glalie number 1 only uses Icy Wind, so we get her to sleep on the follow-up Hypnosis. Dream Eater takes a massive chunk of her health, but of course she goes for a full restore as we try for a Shadow Ball, just in case Glalie 1 woke up. But now we get the speed advantage, so we hit 2 Shadow Balls in a row, taking her out. We go for a similar strategy with Glalie number 2, but since it's a higher level, we drop her into yellow health instead of red, so we can get the Shadow Ball in this time, taking her out. Celio is a one shot with Thunderbolt in comparison. Walrein has to be a one shot, so let's try. Thunderbolt is indeed a one shot, dropping her final team member and winning against Elite 4 member number 3. We only have 1 more to go and the champion left. Now it's time for the final Elite 4 member, Dragon Tamer Drake. This one is the hardest by far. He starts with Shelgon, which isn't too bad, to be honest. We get through with not much trouble, but then he sends out his ace, Salamence, which is quite flattering really, all things considered. He thinks we're that much of a threat that he has to send out his best Pokemon to go against us. Of course we faint soon after. I'm not too disheartened, to be honest though. I think this is still possible. We need the best luck, the best move selection and yada yada yada, you get the point. Now after 20 minutes we get a run where we win, so let's recap. Shelgon spams Protect most of the time, so when we get through with 2 uses of Thunderbolt he goes down. I learned you just have to use attacking moves early on through trial and error for this one. Salamence has to go to sleep as we still have the speed advantage, which happens. We also need him to stay asleep long enough to get 2 Dream Eaters in, which happens so he goes down, so we have full health. Flygon is quite scary though, so we have to use Hypnosis to put him to sleep and use Shadow Ball to take a little bit of health off. He wakes up, which is a worry, but only uses Earthquake, so our Levitate saves us. We unfortunately get a crunch for our troubles though, and I thought we were doomed here. But the next Hypnosis hits, which saves our hides. We get a massive Dream Eater in, dropping Flygon, which is huge. This turns the tide in the whole battle. Altaria only uses Dragon Dance, so 2 Thunderbolts seals his fate. And last but not least is Kingdra, which uses Dragon Dance also. How did you forget to play a Pokemon all of a sudden, Drake? You okay there, buddy? 2 Thunderbolts seal his fate, dropping all of his Pokemon and defeating all 4 Elite 4 members. At long last, we only have the Champion Wallace left to go. Let's go in and try our hand at the Pokemon Champion. Somehow we get all the way to his ace, Melodic, and get taken out though by sheer bad luck and dumb moves. I know this is doable, so I'll keep trying. A whole 5 minutes later, we actually get the win, so let's recap. We'll load us out first, so Thunderbolt is the way to go. This one-shots. Wishcast is immune to Thunderbolts, so we miss Hypnosis over and over, but he doesn't attack, so on attempt 3 it lands, putting him to sleep. Dream Eater almost does nothing, so we spam Shadow Ball until we get a very lucky crit, which we needed there, trust me. Tentacruel is now next, but gets a very scary Hydro Pump in as it barely hangs on to Thunderbolt. Now a standoff begins, as we keep using Thunderbolt and Full Restores respectively, but we get the speed advantage eventually and take him out. Now we are in pretty bad shape going into Ludicolo, so we have to heal up with Dream Eater and Hypnosis. This actually works first try. We then get another Shadow Ball in, which drops another 4. Gyarados is now out and uses Earthquake, but then goes to sleep soon after, so we gain nearly full health before taking it out with Thunderbolt. Milotic, through sheer luck, goes to sleep early on, or so I thought. It wakes up soon after using Surf, which puts us in really bad health, so I take the chance and go for Thunderbolt, in my hopes I'm within damage range. To my absolute excitement, it hits enough damage to drop Milotic, which now makes me the Pokemon champion of Hoenn, and after long last we see our little Gastly take his rightful place in the Pokemon Hall of Fame. Take a bow, as we now can see the credits roll. Now I thought I'd do the ad-lib for the outro with the start a little bit early. I'm still doing the voiceover right now. But yeah, it's a bit hard. This is hard for us to say. Way back in the yesteryears, when I first thought about doing something like this, it was terrifying. I was like, putting myself out there for potentially millions of people to see, especially how introverted I am. Like when I was growing up, I would stay inside most of the time, and I would not lock the doors, but you get the idea. I would shut away behind doors and just play video games. That's all I used to do. So yeah, I was a bit apprehensive about doing something like this, but complacency and that fear will just get you absolutely nowhere. So I thought, well, it's about time I do something about this. It's around the time when we had my son, about 3 years ago now, that a change had to be implemented, because I don't want to do a 9 till 5 job anymore, where what's the right words? Where I'm not my own boss. Got there in the end. Where I'm not my own boss. I'm doing something that I hate, and it just makes you miserable. So I think this is going to be a catalyst for a massive change for me personally. I want to gain, after every video I've done so far, I've gained a tiny bit of confidence. And I'm just going to put myself out there, and I'm just going to go for it, and hopefully one day I can do videos like this week in, week out, and put out bangers for all of you out there that love Pokemon stuff, and maybe other stuff. I've got ideas where I would like to do like a 24-hour live stream when I do have a following for a charity of my choosing, which is probably going to be the Great No Fair Ambulance, to be fair. But yeah, I'm just rambling on. So anyways, I want to thank you from sort of at the bottom of my heart, really, because even just one view from someone, and one like from someone, and one subscription from someone means the absolute world to me. And growing up, I didn't have that many friends. Now I've got 143 waiting for my next video. So I'm going to do my best. I'm going to try and get more videos out, but I don't want to compromise on quality either, so it is what it is. So yeah, I really hope you guys have enjoyed this, and if you want to stick around, that would be amazing. So I'll see you in the next video.